So, where do you guys want to start on the resolution phase? Because there's a lot of stuff here.
I mean, let's just tackle the big son of a bitch. Like, what happens with the damn heart? A
Well, I have,
heart and
I have an
Okay,
idea for the guy that got absorbed into the crystal. So, remember how you said that the macaws had like scientists, like they took part of the macaws and made them like study the crystal and like study the planes of existence?
the heart of chaos. Yeah.
Well, one of those scientists is the one that came up with the old final solution for the Amazons, kind of like a Goebbels version of like
Okay.
a macaw.
Okay.
Mengele.
And he's the one
Mengele.
that actually screwed over screwed over the Slad and got him sucked into the crystal. In an effort to kind of become an avatar himself and grasp power for himself. So I'm going to say for the round that avatar is gone, he emerges as like a leader inside of the Slad, even though he's not Slad.
I like it.
Very
So you can give him whatever
sladdy
name
of
you
him.
want to.
That's a very
I like
slad way of sladding into power.
Yeah, it's like a very like backhanded thing, and that's why he came up with it.
And honestly, the Slav would probably would respect it. They'd be like, "That's
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a very sladdy thing to do.
Like he
they'd be
basically
like, you're one of us. One
he
of
basically Operation Valkyried him, and it didn't work because he's not dead, but he thinks he's dead. He thinks he's trapped. Yeah, trapped in the eye.
Let's go ahead and throw his name as Ezra's.
Ezra.
Ezrus.
Yeah.
us." I like it, Ezra's.
So completely lawful evil, complete piece of shit, willing to
Okay.
sacrifice people.
Yeah, I mean, he was clearly okay with killing off like pretty much all the Amazons. He is heavily corrupted.
Macaw person.
Yeah,
Yeah, and he walks around in one of those plague doctor masks. Like he's took his face off and replaced it with like a mask.
That looks like a bird, like a faux
Yeah.
bird.
Yes, dude,
like a
he's
plague
fucked up.
doctor, but it's
He's
just,
so fucked up.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure like his feathers have been like all mottled and just
Yeah.
decayed looking. You know, he looks disgusting.
Looks like he's got mange.
Oh yeah, he's probably got like mutations. Who knows like what's going on with him?
Well, on
Now-
his weekends,
now
I
on to
imagine some very
the
interesting
kaiju.
Toucan
Now on to
nights.
the
Have
kaiju.
you heard of it all? Well, I think it has to become a giant Leviathan-esque monster.
So Leviathan, I was also thinking like kind of like a gigantic chaos monster, like you know from like the actual monster manual, like this giant tentacle thing that can like absorb and kill things. Like that's what I was kind of thinking.
So
I like that idea.
I love the idea of it becoming that. But,
I like the idea of it still being a shark though, or like a some kind of
How
animal.
about a giant squid? What about like
it
a
was
giant tentacle
shark to
squid?
begin with.
I just said megalodon. I mean, I like the idea of him having a giant shark. What if it's both? What if it like when it takes the heart in? What if it gets like properties of like all the sea life, like everything?
Sure.
So it becomes
I-
Disgusting, terrifying.
I had another thing to throw out there. Given that the kaiju writers slowly become subsumed within their kaijus, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that Trax shot himself into the heart. How about we take Trax, take Ocean Master, and we create Otrax or Oshatrax. Combine the two avatars into one avatar.
Yeah, or we
Yeah.
could just give it a completely new name. Maybe.
no. Let's do that, dude. But let's make him split between the two of them, so he's both people.
Because that would cause it to be insane. Which
Yeah,
I
and
like.
it's very Demogorgonish. Like
Yes.
he's like both.
Oh my god! Like that
Yeah.
giant megalodon with two different like minds. That's awesome.
Oh, dude, it could be like one shark head and like one other giant sea creature for a head. That's a great idea, dude. Maybe do a squid beak, like a squid beak and a shark head.
Yeah, I like it. That's
So, what does this do to the, like, when he comes, like, this monster? This is like, is this now like a Terrask type monster?
oh yeah,
Well, it's not just that; it's like its own avatar now too, right?
it's an avatar too.
Combination of both of them.
Yeah, so, also, like, with how much chaos that was already going on, at this point in time, we can definitely say that this avatar is completely insane, right?
The problem is also this: because it absorbed Ocean Master, it is now in control of all the sea creatures in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
So the salmon just took a huge blow.
Yeah.
Well, I think
do
everybody
something-
in the
I
world
wanna do
took a
something
huge
with-
blow. Because I
With those Amazons that got sucked in there too, dude. Like they have to have some part of it. Like some part of it has to incorporate them too. 'Cause it
so
was a giant piece of what made it happen.
So this thing
I mean,
with
just
them.
soul energy. How about just soul energy?
I think that was just the energy that ramped it up so it could happen.
Yeah, but I think we could do something more with it. We could give him a conscience or something that he has to. Like,
Yeah, something
fight
that
against.
he has to appease, or else they can take over in like
Yeah.
the worst of situations. Because they made a soul sacrifice that against
about-
their will, and so it's like a way for them to still fight in that aspect. They're
Like
able to
fight-
influence
let's
this.
split this
Yeah,
up into three then. Let's just say there's three different entities fighting for control of this thing. You have the collective souls of all of the Amazons, which equal the avatar of the
So-
other two.
So you know what you call the collective souls? You just call them the collective. So there's a part of his psyche. So it's three. So like if it was a monster, he would have 3 actions per round, right?
Yeah.
The collective would have an action, Ocean Master would have action, and Drax would have an action. So, but the collective isn't evil.
Yeah.
It's at worst neutral, true. So it's not going to let him always it won't let him turn all the wildlife of the oceans against everything. Do you see what I'm saying? Like he
Yeah.
has a counterbalance to him.
Now, what I was gonna say though is this avatar has no allegiance to any existing nationality
No,
or race.
I don't think it's
right?
an avatar anymore. I think it's a world monster like the Black Dragon.
You want
Yeah.
to make it into that? You
Yeah,
could do that too. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it could
Yeah,
still
I
have
think
actions. We can give it avatar actions, but they would be different, right? Otherwise, what I mean is like it could still come in and impact the world over and over again.
I think we should just
Yeah,
use it
yeah.
for resolutions. I think we just use it for
Resolution and
resolutions.
event.
That's cool. Yeah, and events. Yeah, I dig that. So yeah, that's why that way it can keep coming back over and over again as an effect.
Yeah, that son of a bitch might outlive everything. Can you
Plus-
imagine, like, 800, 900 years from now, like, 2,000 years from now, like, oh, we're still dealing with this giant-ass immortal fucking soul creature.
So what's
Plus,
this?
it could change too. I mean, there's no saying that. It doesn't
What's
gain
the
sentience
story that comes out of this for the Slod, for the Salmon? Like, what do the Salmon think happened? Do they think some legendary fight happened and he went off and ride into the sunset on a kaiju, or
They
does he
probably think that he saved the world by eating the fucking heart. That's what I.
Okay, so he became a hero
That's
to
what I
the
would-
Salmon, and the
Yeah.
Salmon.
But honestly, I think the Slaughter weakened because they've just lost their avatar. The Slaughter weakened, and the Salmon are severely weakened because they
Well,
lost
the-
control over a lot of
they-
kaijus.
But they gained an avatar too, though. They gained the Makagai, so they didn't really lose an avatar.
Yeah,
They gained like an even worse version, a person that was so bad he like fucked over the bad guy. So I don't know if they lost power there.
So did
What
this
my
affect
question is,
the-
what happens to the rest of the Tide Lords? Do they? Are they still in order?
Do they get like jacked up like Unicron? Does Unicron just eat them all up and turn them into like over here, or
Yeah,
like,
did he
what happens with them?
did he suck them all in when he ate the heart? Are they their own? Are they still around?
What if we say that so because it's an order, right? And they're like the Rangers, or is that the Ranger one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and like
okay.
the best ones got to have those kaiju mounts.
So the ones that had the kaiju mounts, they're all fucked, right? Anything that close to the chaos with the
What
heart,
if
we can
Steve,
say they got
you know how we
screwed
made him a
out.
traveling monster? What if we make the ones with the kaiju's like miniature
Miniature
versions,
traveling,
like
that would be great,
Other
yeah.
traveling monsters.
Yeah.
Like other
And
smaller
so
leviathans.
then we can say that of the rest of
Wasn't
the
there a
Tide
different
Lords.
name for the kaiju riders? I thought that there was actually
Tide Lords.
another order.
We might have, yeah. We
Oh.
might call them
No,
something
no,
else.
I think there was actually another order made just for the.
Kaiju Riders.
I think you're right.
Let me go back through the notes. This is why I take them.
Because we also made an order of Salmon that were scientists that the bros didn't like, and we called them some kind of bro scientists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to be taking a step forward in the next round. What I was gonna say is, of the people that survive, though, we can say that only a small amount of the original Ranger group survives that can come back.
Steve's saying the title lords will still exist, just the prestige title lords wouldn't.
Yeah, that's what
And
I'm going
I
to
think
say.
we should
is
make them,
they
Onis,
become
like
monsters. Yeah, and then
Yeah, make them Onis like an L5R.
and then the whole order took a huge hit. It's like militarily, just like because of the effects of what happened.
Lords. We just said that there were special members within the Tide
And
Lords.
then what I'm gonna say is a small group gets to like make it back to their civilization, and they have this story of this hero, but the order keeps the secret story to itself, which is
Maybe the Tide Lords
what actually
banned
happened.
the use of kaiju. Maybe
Kaiju-
they just
yeah,
said
no more-
kaiju.
No more kaiju as
yeah,
mounts.
no more kaiju. Yeah, because everybody who had a kaiju that was really really bonded with their kaiju became one.
But how about we give them
And
the ability?
monstered out.
How about the ability that Ocean Master had to control like
They can get
wildlife?
like break
that
away
they-
smaller
that
features.
they have
of
it now.
Yeah, they have like
Like, they
smaller
have that
features. Like nobody has it as good as Ocean Master, but they all
Yeah, but
have
they
the
all have
ability
it,
in
yeah.
these small, like so almost like a whole spell school. of
spell
like
school or like class features, but like they
Yeah.
would have that ability now. So he lost it when he became the giant thing. But Steve, you should make those. Let's say it was 20 riders, these like Ocean Knights or whatever. You should make them like Oni from L5R, like individually. They're each their own individual like monster,
Yeah, their own separate monsters.
like special monsters. Like one has like a crab,
They're
so
all
he can go
unique
on land.
monsters.
Yeah, one has like a crab, one has like a flying snake, so he can like fly through the air. You know, you can do shit like that, like make them all
Alright,
unique.
we'll play deeper with that as we go, but that's a good basis for an idea. So moving on from there,
what happens to the just before we leave to the Macaw men and Amazon slave type folk? Because at that point in time, this is what that's left on the island. Like, is there anybody left on that island next to the slot? And are there any
No.
breakaways or any survivors?
The Slaughter on this island, they
the
infiltrated. the
Slaughter
island.
on the island,
Yeah.
and there's still the Chaos Macaw,
Okay,
the corrupted
the
Macaw.
corrupted Macaw. Okay, dope beans.
And there's still Amazons,
who are now, because of the other one being Avatar, going to become like preferred people, honestly.
and there's Amazons still there too. The army, they're shock troopers or whatever, or they
Yeah.
didn't sacrifice them.
Yeah, they
I can
sacrificed the ones that weren't part of the order.
I could totally see that new Macaw Avatar using his chaotic Macaw to try to build a portal to bring in more shit. Like,
Yeah, rebuild
That's what
like
they
get
were
through the
Not just that,
problem.
like he's gonna probably start seating the other Macaw into positions of power. Like those scientists, they're gonna become like the leaders now.
Yeah.
Because the one Sly leader is gone.
Yep. So going from there, I'm interested in how Rend is blocking the Order of Eight.
Oh
did
yeah,
she just withdraw her power?
yeah. My idea was for it when she finds out what he's doing, she strips him of all of his power. So that's the main reason you said he goes here to this island to get that power. Is because he knows there's another dragon there that she doesn't know about. So he's going there to get power from this dragon, the good dragon, the dragon who heals. Because he lost all of his power.
Now, did she pull power from the whole 8 or just the
No,
one?
just him, dude. Him and exiled his ass.
Yeah. But then he's going to go over there and deal with that other wonder.
keep
So now, if you were writing a character like a narrative story for him, he becomes more of the hero of the story now, like an actual hero of the story, because he just lost everything.
Even though he's a bad guy.
can
Even though he's a bad guy.
what
Or
she,
is he a
what
bad
did she,
guy?
Now-
what did she
now
what
I
did she
have
do
to
with the
ask,
power? Did she dole
does
it back
she
out?
withdraw just one portion of the power of it, the Order of 7?
Yeah, I would. No, I think she.
Or
Or
does
does
she
she imbue
redo-
somebody
did
else?
she give
I
it
think she
back
would just
out?
imbue somebody else.
She could just do
Ocean
that.
Master. She just gives it to Ocean Master.
Yeah. Oops, that was a mistake. I think she just gives it to another worthy lizard folk. Or maybe for now, she saw the error of her ways, so she no longer, like Steve was saying, there's no longer 8. Now there's only 7. And when the next one defies
Or
her,
there
now,
might be none. She might not reestablish it for a while. She might just be like, nope. Do
What
you
if-
not prove yourself worthy?
What if
Ooh, that's a good
well,
idea,
what if that's what she starts doing, and then like some of them break away, and like go on in hiding or on the run or something, like, and then they plan to coup, so that she can't taking their power away from them.
so he's like Lucifer because he was the first one to like turn against her, and she
Oh,
cast
man.
him out. And
Yeah.
now she's slowly drawing the power away. That's a good idea. Yeah, so she kept his power. I like that. She took the power and kept it for herself now. So the other ones are starting to realize that he had the right idea.
Yeah, and so they
Alright,
begin to like hide and turn and winky wink.
Okay, so the Order of 8 begin to question Ren's motives.
Yep.
And she was just
Which
trying
is
to be...
fucked up because she
Yeah.
gave them all the power for nothing.
Yeah. It's like she just
Like,
gave it to him in the
what
first
motives?
place.
I
You
just gave you power.
unappreciative
Which
bastards.
that will eventually cause problems with her and Akroma.
Okay, since you mentioned Akroma, what's going on with Akroma and his acid assassins?
Oh, he's trying to kill Akumon.
Yeah.
So this motherfucker is like the lone samurai of all lone samurais, dude. He's just trying
He's
to get
straight
across.
Ronin right now.
He's just trying to get to this fucking island so he don't get murked.
Yeah.
An island surrounded by acid. And he's being chased by shadow acid assassins.
But you know what? I want to say that they fell. I want to say he gets to it.
Yeah,
'Cause
he's
I
gonna.
want to see where that story goes.
I think he totally gets to it. I think yeah. They don't
Like
succeed.
maybe like he's near death. They think they actually kill him,
Oh,
and
no.
he falls into it, and he starts to be healed.
You ready
But
for
they
the?
think that they succeeded.
Well, what
Here's
if
the tragic hero story. They didn't kill him, but they killed everyone that he cares about. They killed his family. They killed They killed all of them.
Maybe
He's
he
like
becomes
the
a hero.
only one. Yeah, he's the only one who made it out.
and the healing, like, what if on top of healing, like, the acid can't? It's like necrotic for us. The healing device to acid.
What if he's not going there for the healing? What if he's going there because they killed his family to like try to res him, and then when he gets there, he realizes that he can't. So then he's
What-
taking power for revenge.
What is Kuz's stance on this this healing artifact, this healing stone that he found at the bottom of the crater?
I mean,
Plot twist: they bond.
Akuza bonds with Akuma.
Yeah. They those bond like in a quest for revenge. He's like, what's it gonna take?
I think the way he feels about the thing he found is he probably
Surusuke.
thinks it's deific, just like what made him.
Oh,
I mean, he probably worships.
Kuzis?
Yeah, more than likely.
He already deifies the Black Dragon, which enhanced him.
Yeah, and this is another dragon, though, right? A part of another dragon.
Mhm.
Or is this, no, this is part of the dragon that was, I thought, from the battle.
Yeah,
Well,
from
Kuz's
progenitor.
ultimate
Yes.
goal, because he believes he's like a moldable piece of clay that'll eventually become a dragon. I see.
What if he?
Well, what
dude,
if-
what
what
if
if
he
his
wants to
inter-
let Akuman go, like, try to absorb the essence in the ruins, so that he can try to then absorb Akuman?
Nah,
Because you know how he got absorbed and got
Yeah.
and stepped up. He thinks if he does it to him, that maybe he'll ascend too. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
you know, you work for me, I'll work for you.
And then he's trying to gain up
I
one up on
like
it too.
that. I
So-
like that
so-
a
What
lot,
happens?
actually.
But what happens between those two is the question.
They bond like
They just
like
bond.
like the
No one's
symbiote,
absorbed.
like the Venom symbiote. They actually
Yeah.
become a symbiotic organism.
Yeah.
That's a fucking badass idea, dude. Some lizard folk walk around with a Venom symbiote on his body.
Some sentient acid. Oh my god.
It's pretty dope.
It's kind of like Carnage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like Venom.
Steve's like, Jesus, I'm all this shit down.
No, it's okay. So Amorka getting to the eye, clearly with the help of Kuzis, unbeknownst to him originally that he's actually being assisted. How are we having that go down? What happens there? Does he like bathe himself in the healing waters?
I like the
What's
idea.
going
I like the idea of him going there, like trying to resurrect his people they lost to those assassins.
Yeah, that's
and
what I
then
was-
realizing that he can't.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then he's
Dad
like
is pissed.
gives
He wants
himself to.
revenge.
He wants revenge.
I was gonna say, yeah, this whatever it is fairly large, and I like the idea of him going there to try to see if he can use it as a healing thing. I wonder, he gained his power and ascension. Okay, this is something for later, but right now, just for the motivations of where it gets to the next part of the interaction. So he lost all of his loved ones.
That's a good woman.
Does he feel that that's a response to him interacting with the dragon deity in the first place? Like a bad path kind of thing? Or does he not feel that they're related and wants to dip right back into the dragon?
Do you mean does
Cool.
he know that assassins were sent after him, or does he think it's just like he's getting punished for trying to take?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, is he interpreting as he's getting punished for this grab to power? Or is it like, oh, the grab to power worked, let me...
No, I think with the loss of his family, he probably sees it as he's being punished because clearly, why was his family killed?
So then when he interacts with the second dragon artifact, are we saying that he's doing it because he wants to bring his family back? He's dipping into the same pool. You get what I'm saying? That he's also worried about. So what would that do?
That's why I don't
does
think
that
he, I
alter
don't think
him
he's
in
think
any
he's being
way?
punished. I think that he just thinks that somebody tried to kill him.
Not
Like I don't think he thinks it's the dragon god. I like the idea of
Okay.
him thinking it's actual like assassins came for him and shit, and they killed his family.
Okay. Like he probably thinks it's a Chroma who's just trying to kill him.
Right, like kind of like Maximus and Gladiator. All that's a little bit different, but
Yeah.
like that type of thing. Like he knew it was going to happen, tried to stop it, couldn't stop it. They didn't kill him even though they thought they did. They made his way all the way over here to get him resurrected. I like the idea of him bathing in it, like we talked about before, like bathing in the water, John. So when he realizes that he can't resurrect him with that water, what if he just tries to like drown himself? Because even though he's a lizard man, he can't breathe underwater.
Okay, yeah, so then think about it this way. The very first time, that's very nice juxtaposition. So the first time, he lets a dragon eat him.
Well, you're talking about a totally different character.
Oh, that's a different... Oh, that...
Kuzis.
Well-
You're talking about the ooze.
Juxtaposition in the location. The first time it happened, an ooze allowed a dragon to eat it. This time, a
This
person
time
is
he allowed the
allowing
ooze in him.
it to come into him.
That's why I said it, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So he goes in the water, tries to let himself drown, and then the ooze basically saves him by absorbing him, and then you get what you get. A super...
So now when we roll him as an avatar, we're going to have to roll him as one entity because clearly they're not going to have like two separate avatar actions. Like you can't kill one and not kill the other.
So when things
Or
get
you
very
might.
chaotic in this world, they begin to collapse together into each other.
All right. So what are we calling the combination of Kuzis and Amorka?
It's got to have an antonym to Rend, I think, because that's who his ultimate goal is now. Well, no, Rend and the other guy, right? But he serves Rend. I like that something has to do with like mending things together or repairing something.
I can see that. Yeah, because it's how about Unity?
Unity is a good one.
Can't think of anything else off the top of my head.
No, I can think of things. They're all oddly off, though. Like Weave.
Weave is good.
Use something.
Actually, yeah, let's do Weave, dude.
Yeah.
Like it calls itself Weave.
Which could have like the tapestry, a lot of things. There's
The
a lot
United
of-
Weave?
No, just weave.
Just Weave, I like.
Just weave. Yeah, because like that really that could be a lot of things. That could be like them. That could be the tapestry. It could be the universe.
Yeah, I was
It's a
just
lot
trying
of
to think of
things.
the opposite of rending.
I have a name too, Steve, for the giant
ripping.
amalgamation monster. Magnatris. Magnatris.
Not the dominatrix you want to order on the weekend.
No X S.
But the dominatrix we deserve.
Yes.
Okay. So that covers the actions of the avatars, which there's a lot of craziness going on there, which is good. But flip back a couple pages here. Because clearly I like taking notes analog instead of digital. We've got the Coatl. They've formed some orders. The Judge Order. Are the judges doing anything with any of the craziness that's happened so far? Are they jumping in anywhere?
Do they?
Shit, they're probably terrified.
Yeah, right. They're probably like, okay, well, let's see what the situation looks like, and then they just like, you know what?
I have-
Fuck
I have
this.
an idea
We're
for
going
that.
back to the island.
I have ideas, Steve. Okay, so the order that watches the Council of Coatl,
Yeah.
right?
The Rainbow Coalition.
So they saw what Nicias did. So they wanted to bring him to judgment for him. So the judges went and got him. And when they brought him to judgment, he literally was able to talk his way out of any kind of punishment. Because he proved to them, even though he sacrificed all of the people, it was still for greater good because he got rid of the bigger threat. So like
Ezra's?
Ezra's was able to outfox the Coatl,
I like that.
in addition to everything else he did.
Ezra's is a real threat in this realm. Like real talk. He's crazy and smart. That's terrifying. It's good shit.
Remember, always kill the Vecna zombies first.
So they even sent their whole army and all their judges for him, and he just like allowed them to take him. He went to their judgment, and then they let him go.
Plus, he also knew that like that caused them to show themselves. Like they're out of the shadows now.
And so is defense pretty much you guys are hypocrites. You can't
Yeah.
talk
Okay.
shit.
Okay.
You like to watch,
let's see
huh?
here.
Watch this.
Okay, so that's the Kawaddle. Let's see what else. Waddle. What about the Anthros? They're building the city. Like
I think they
any
feel-
craziness?
I think they
Yeah,
feel
I
pretty
mean-
insulated, dude. I think they feel pretty good about their
Yeah,
situation.
they feel pretty safe.
Yeah, I would say they feel safe. They really haven't made any contact with any of the other races. They're probably not even entirely aware of how bad things are. I mean,
Yeah,
they might
they
have had
walked
a little
into shit fest.
kaiju like check out their walls, but they have the guns and the
I think-
cannons. The kaiju probably
think-
went. Eh.
I think
Fuck
maybe the
that.
one thing is when they find that they have the sound source, they start using their technology and they start implementing that sound into their technology. So
Yeah.
maybe they gain like a proficiency with thunder damage or something like that, like something that they have that no one else does because of this giant.
They use a
What
lot of
about-
sound-based technology? I like that.
What if also like something like resistances where like they I know later on there's a really cool order waiting to be created of monks.
Yeah, maybe they develop like
monks
some
that,
echolocation
like-
or something.
yeah,
like some
that-
kind of radar. You know,
Yeah, monks that through meditation with sound have learned how to like
yeah, Daredevil's like the
Utilize-
reverse Daredevil, like they're deaf.
utilize special things with the power of sound. Like something like a screaming horror can like scream in its face, and they don't even like they get such a advantage to save or whatever.
Okay. All right. So overall,
What about the metal gnomes? The star metal. I had an idea for that.
oh, okay,
Yeah,
yeah, I
we need to
forgot
talk about
about the
that.
gnomes.
I like the idea of them coming from space and the one macaw. I think that one macaw who figured it out, who came over there, not just the metal one, but whoever actually figured it out. I think that he needs to be an avatar too, of some kind.
It'd be a metal man. It'd be a metal one.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a metal macaw who has become like literally like the Star Master. Like he figured out the exact trajectory of where this piece of metal came from. And my idea for it is that it came from one of the moons, one of these 4 moons. It's a giant piece of that moon. That's what he figured out.
And now he's trying to figure out how to get more of it down here.
Yeah.
Which may cause a cataclysm, but hey, whatever.
I don't know. We can make his name. Maybe
I'd like Star Master.
Star Master. There you go.
That's what he calls himself now.
Yeah. How presumptuous.
The
Well,
Maycons are apparently quite a cocky race.
He heard this guy walking around naming himself Ocean Master and was like, "Oh, I could
Yeah.
play that game."
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Star
Master, bitch.
I do actually have a question for y'all. The combination of Kuzis and Amorka. Kuzis was already one step to his ascension. Do you guys think that this
Yeah.
next transition in form would give him a stage 2
It's got to.
transcendence?
Yeah, I think
You've
he,
got 2 avatars working. Because, I mean, honestly, look, that damn giant Magna, whatever, that thing's at least a stage 1, stage 2 at this point now. That thing's borderline deific.
I think the only thing that
Yeah, I
that
think he
went
definitely
backwards
shifts.
is Ocean Master and the Slod combo because they lost any. They became monster creatures instead of divine.
Yeah, but you can still have, like,
Well,
it's almost like
Ascension-
a force of nature.
ascension doesn't have to mean God though. It can literally
No,
mean
it
whatever
doesn't.
you want it to mean. So that Tarrasque monster is technically an ascension. It would.
Yeah,
would
it
be-
doesn't die.
Yeah,
It keeps
I just
going
mean
back.
like it's different kind of level of.
Well, it just becomes a more ascension. Just means a more powerful creature, like a more
Gotcha.
powerful thing. Creature, man, whatever you want to call it.
So what about
I mean,
the?
realistically, things are going to eventually start worshiping that big son of a bitch.
So since we,
There are going to be cults to that thing, and then will become
oh yeah,
deific.
for sure.
And because we layered him and didn't make him completely evil, he is more like a Godzilla, where he won't necessarily just kill everything. You see what I'm saying? Like he might do good things. You know, a lot of things could decide how he acts.
So
Okay.
I'm gonna stop calling the macaws over here pureblood since we actually have a Mengele.
Pure blood.
Mengele
I
on
like
the
that.
on the.
Yeah.
A Mingala version.
No. Since we already have a Mengele over there, I'm not gonna call that the purebloods
yeah.
anymore because now we're skirting.
They've already been purebloods on the paper.
Yeah, I know. But the macaw purebloods over here, what's going on with them? Are they actually prospering now that they're finally able to find peace for a little while, or?
I think so. I think that they're doing pretty good right now.
Yeah, we didn't do anything with them, but I would assume
They've gotten
are doing
away
alright.
from the bullshit, and they're staying the hell away.
And they've established.
Oh, yeah,
they've
and they're in a-
established a new city. So
And they're in a
doing
pretty
good.
solid spot over there with fertility and stuff.
You just say fertility a lot. It's a fertile area.
Okay, and
Place
so what about
plant my
the
seeds.
fallout from the Solomon thing? I was saying I had this idea for the resolution where only a group of the Tide Lords make it back, and they actually construct this legend story of.
You had mentioned that earlier. I already wrote that down.
Yeah. Well, so I'm saying is, like, how does that affect the Solomon people? They just lost their leader, who established an entire.
He wasn't their leader. He was just a guy who established an order.
I
never
just
said
assumed
he
that
was
the
the leader of the
culture
people.
followed him because the culture was one of Dude Brodom, and he was the
I
ultimate
mean-
dude bro.
I never looked at it like that. I thought the Tide Lords were more the Dude Bros, and the Salmon are just Salmon. Because we made scientists too. Even
Yeah,
though they're
yeah.
Dude Bro-y.
Well, I just
I
assumed
think-
it was the pull from the Tide
I think the
Lords that made it
scientists
Dude
would become
Bro-y.
a bigger part of their society.
Yeah, because the dude bros kind of got fucked up. So I totally.
Yeah, well, I think that's what's going to happen now. Is that the Dude Bros take a step back as the scientists take a step forward. But I just
I
assumed
think they're
that the
still there.
first leaders.
The Dude Bros are there, but they're more there to like support the scientists now or protect them. Just kind of like they were doing before, but now more closer to maybe to home. So
I
maybe they
think-
pull out
yeah.
of these bottom regions and go back to here.
Well, I was thinking, yeah, I think they go right back to the center area, but I was thinking there might be like an internal strife because you have these scientist people who've been denigrated, right? And then you have
Yeah,
this.
but they're on top now.
They're on top now. Well, maybe they're not right away. Maybe there's a transition there.
I don't know, dude. I
Takes
think there'd be a
years.
vacuum. I don't think there'd be any. I think they immediately would kind of take over because they're the
People
only.
would be
only
looking for
other-
leadership.
Yeah,
They're
and
the
the
only
Tide
other
Lords
specialized group of
were
people.
so beat up after everything that even
Fractured,
Yeah. So it wouldn't take very long for the other people to take over that.
That's what I'm saying. They become more like their security force or they're like special forces, maybe. Like they're still there, but they're not like they were before. They're not running shit, but they definitely exist still. I think you're right, though, John. I think they would pull back here. I think they would pull all the way back here, to be honest. They'd probably stay
Oh,
as far
yeah.
away from that where that heart was as possible.
And
Yeah, they don't wanna-
they're
wanna
not
do that.
fucking with kaiju anymore. Like they're trying to maybe like passively keep them peaceful.
Yeah, I
redirect
think they're
them,
still
things like
patrolling,
that.
but just maybe around here.
Dude,
Dude, they
what
might
if
have even
What if they sacrificed the kaiju to
They
appease
might-
them?
they might have even
That'd be dope.
formed an alliance with these macaw on this island because you know how this thing goes through phases and becomes lowlands and highlands. I think now they've been there for a whole age that maybe there is something between these two now.
Which two?
The salmon and oh no, you didn't put them here. You moved them someplace else. Oh, see, originally you were gonna put them here on this lowland island. But you
Oh
moved them.
yeah. That's where I originally gonna send them, and
Never
then
mind.
I was like, it's all that fertile land over there.
I forget what I said.
Something
I
really
can-
needs to go on that
I can
that
totally
island though.
see
It's so
the
dope
salmon
looking.
Causing sacrifices to the kaiju. I
Yeah,
can
to like
see,
redirect their traffic or to keep them only in the southern hemisphere. Like maybe that's some kind
Yeah.
of pact deal they have. The kaiju are only in the southern below the ice because they made a deal to keep them down there, or they keep a deal up. Maybe it's with Ocean Master, Kaiju Monster Master.
Maybe that's what the Tide Lords do now. Maybe they no longer patrol. Maybe they're like the wall in in Game of Thrones. They have like
Game
an
of Thrones.
underwater. They have an underwater wall that they protect that keeps the kaiju out of the northern hemisphere.
And maybe an offshoot of
That's a good idea.
so like they're not using kaiju anymore, right? But there might
No.
be
No.
some kind of religious order that starts like praising or memory of the kaiju, and or maybe a way to communicate with said kaiju.
You good? You just what?
To sacrifice to them.
Awesome.
What if they start using like more noble sea creatures as their mounts, like dolphins and like killer whales and
Going
shit?
back to using normal animals, yeah.
Yeah.
But what about the idea
John,
of
you
this?
got-
You remember how the sea life that was around the island where the Heart of Chaos was being
Mutated.
corrupted? How about sea life? Yeah, mutated. How about sea life that stays around or near? Wait, what's it called? I have
The
to go back
kaiju?
here. Magnatrix. Yeah, the big one, the main one. Sea life that nests around wherever it's going to lair is going to continue to be corrupted. But
Yeah.
it's a little more
Gets more chaotic.
localized.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not the spread of chaos is not as strong as it was.
Without
because
the
it's
heart.
been like kind of subsumed by that big creature.
I have an idea. See this stuff you made here, John? This cold blue steel metal that's underwater.
Yeah.
What if the salmon, the Tide Lords, they use this to make a wall, and they call that they make an underwater wall, and they call it like the Pale Gate or something like that.
Pale Gate, the blue curtain.
The blue curtain, the Pale Gate.
Yeah.
I like the Pale
The
Gate.
blue curtain. I like the pale
Yeah, I like
gate,
that, like-
but
like
we
the-
never gave that metal a trait. Maybe the metal in particular is something that causes chaos to be repelled.
Yeah, maybe it's very axiotic.
That'd be
It's
dope.
very lawful.
I like that. That'd be dope as sin.
Hey, look at that. We just came up with a trait for that shit.
That's why Gate works, right? Because it like shuts out, it shuts out.
Yeah.
The chaos.
Yeah.
Like they can, like they make a wall, kind of like the ice wall in Game of Thrones, but it's under the water. And what if we put it right here, Steve? Can we put a line here?
Yeah, go ahead and put a line there.
Yeah. So also, like, I was thinking a religious order that deals with the kaiju in some fashion, as far as either
Oh,
they
absolutely.
worship or they study or a combination of such, and something that,
I mean,
that
how many things have worshipped the end of
Yeah.
things? Like, like the end bringers.
yeah.
What do you think? Does that look good, Steve? Like not
I
cross
like
the
it. Yeah, 'cause
entire.
it wouldn't cover the whole thing, but it would be a significant wall. Yeah, it wouldn't stop the whole thing. I like that because there's still
Yeah.
you could still have kaiju going around it if you absolutely need to, but they're generally going to be repelled from that area.
Yeah, it's going to make everything a lot safer, and anybody else who's not knowledgeable of the kaiju issue is going to find out in the short term when they start hitting the water.
I like
So
it.
like all of their all the salmon mercenaries and like pieces of shit, they get sent to the Pale Gate, and like they have to end their lives in service of the Pale Gate.
I like it.
Straight up, dude. Straight up, make Night's Watch and make it like an underwater.
Hey,
Night's
hey,
Watch.
you remember how Ocean
Deep
Master
Watch.
created
That's what
that
they call it, the Deep
order
Watch.
of
Yeah, through trials, right? Yeah.
created the Raiders? They become the Deep
Oh.
Watch or the Pale Watch.
The Pale Watch.
Watch.
Yes. Great idea. They're like the first members of it, yeah, because they're pieces of shit. Like he made them into pirates.
Yep.
Yeah, so when you commit a crime and Salmon lands, your option is death or the Pale Watch.
Or death
I
at
like
the Pale
that.
Watch. Yeah. Death by Snoo Snoo.
So they're still
Okay,
protectors to Tide Lord.
So basically, like L5R wise, basically these are almost like the crab folk on the wall with the Shadowlands.
Yeah, or kind of like Matsu Berserkers too. Like,
Yeah.
will throw themselves into the fray because
Yeah.
they're fucked anyway. If you guys want, we can
So-
even develop an ocean taint. I think that could be a cool idea too. Like, the longer you spend in these waters down here, the more
I
mutated you
think
get.
once we figure out
Oh, I really like that idea. Like the
once
fact,
we figure out where Magnatrix actually is going to lair, we could definitely start talking about
I think he
the
layers.
undersea
I think he
tainted
layers
area.
where the heart was. That's his home, right?
That
That's
would
where
make
he-
sense. That would make sense. So that would be the tainted land or the tainted island.
Maybe kind of like right here, maybe in between both of them.
Yeah, and the waters around here, if you spend time there, even at sea in your boat, you start to get tainted. We can call it something else, whatever you want to call it, but the more you get like Shadowlands taint, you start to mutate, you gain powers, you lose yourself, you become insane.
Yeah.
Oh,
Same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
You become some
We'll
kind of, like,
definitely-
aberration,
that
basically.
Yeah.
I like.
dude,
Now,
talk about a
don't-
Bermuda
don't
Triangle,
forget,
man.
Although it's not on this map, you see where I'm pinging, right?
Mhm.
You got to remember that is a
vortex.
giant, like massive sea vortex that we put there. Don't
Oh,
forget
yeah.
that exists.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and there's
Just-
also that
just so I
giant.
can
There's also that giant
remember.
crevice in between that whole bottom island area.
Giant sea vortex, and then of course, because some jackass didn't finish doing the map work, it's also this
Fire that
giant crevice
motherfucker.
through here.
Yeah, so this wall that we made too, since it opposes it, right? We could say that if you had
Mhm.
weapons and items, kind of like Jade in L5R, they protect you when you're in these waters. So there's a whole industry the Salmon have developed behind this thing here.
Out of
help
selling and maintaining
Everybody
the
be able
pale.
to travel. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you get
Oh,
tainted, you
geez.
can also go to
It's
the wall.
pale steel.
Pale steel.
Pale
Yep.
steel.
Pale steel. There you go. So yeah, you can join the Pale
Okay.
Watch too if you get tainted, as a way to redeem yourself, like a Matsu Berserker.